news special, the changing attitude towards marijuana. More and more European countries talk about the legalization of marijuana. Countries like Portugal and Spain have changed their policies on marijuana. In Great Britain, there is a lively discussion about the decriminalization of the drugs. On May the 10th, 2015, a historical debate took place.
They confuse use and abuse, and they jump to the conclusion that because something is morally wrong, it should be against the law. Lots of things are morally wrong, which are not against the law. It's against adultery is wrong. I think one shouldn't betray one's spouse, but we shouldn't put people in jail if they do.
Who are they? Who are they? They don't know. They don't have the experience that we have, and this is why we must stand up. This is why we must continue to stand up, because this is the right thing to do.
Joining me in the studio is Thomas Smith, British Member of Parliament. Welcome, Thomas. Could you tell me a little bit more about the current situation in Britain now?
Yes, of course. Thank you for inviting me. I would like to start off with that the Labour Party does not tolerate drugs misuse or abuse, but however, cannabis and marijuana have some positive effects. First of all, cannabis in medicine is a very good drug for people with severe health problems. At the moment, the UK system does not allow these patients access to these drugs. This is very sad for a country such as developed as us. Only for this reason I should think that medicinal cannabis should be allowed. Next to this, we are losing the war on drugs. It costs millions of pounds to make sure the streets are clean, to get users into courts and in jail. However, putting them in jail is very bad for society, for the family and for their own health. Study shows that in countries where they have a legalization of marijuana, that not putting them in jail helps them get rid of their addiction, and benefits for society are way higher than putting them away in jail. So for these reasons, our discussion in Britain should be not about if we should legalize marijuana, but when we should legalize marijuana.
All right, thank you very much, Thomas. Thank you for your time. And now we switch to Portuguese Member of Parliament, Anastasia Ramos. Good afternoon, Mrs. Ramos. Thank you for joining us. We just heard Mrs. Smith from Great Britain. What is the Portuguese perspective on this subject?
Hi Mark, thank you for having me. So as most people should know, Portugal has decriminalized all drugs over 16 years ago. So today, Portuguese authorities don't arrest anyone found holding what's considered less than a 10-day supply of an illicit drug. Instead, drug offenders receive a citation and are ordered to appear before so-called dissuasion panels made up of legal, social and psychological experts. Most cases are simply suspended.
So you have a liberal policy towards marijuana for quite some time now. What were the reactions after this implementation of this policy?
Well, at first there was a lot of criticism. Many people expected the drug abuse to skyrocket, which did not happen, fortunately. With some exceptions, including a marginal increase among teenagers, drug use has fallen over the past 15 years and now ebbs and flows within overall trends in Europe. Now, 16 years later, I can safely say that this decision profited Portugal in various ways. For example, in a society where drugs are less stigmatized, problem users are more likely to seek out care. The rate of new HIV infections in Portugal has fallen precipitously since 2001, the year its law took effect, declining from 1,016 cases to only 56 cases in 2012. Overdose deaths decreased enormously. Portugal's current drug-induced death rate, 3 per million residents, is more than 5 times lower than the European Union's average of 17.3%, according to European Union figures.
All right, thank you very much, Mrs. Ramos, and let's get back to the studio. In the future, it is likely that due to its positive effects, marijuana will be tolerated the same as alcohol. Thank you for watching, and good afternoon.